What's up, everybody? I'm Ricky Doyle, joined here by Mike Cole. We also got Busted Coverage's Joe Kinsey on the line. Guys, I just want to dive into various topics today, but I'd like to start with something that's pretty near and dear to all of our hearts because we're just kind of engulfed in it, is the series currently going on, Eastern Conference Finals between the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'll let you guys kick it off here. I mean, we were kind of just tossing around before we came on, but just overall impressions, I guess, through Game 1 going into Game 2, and just really whether the Celtics have a chance at all in the series.
That's the interesting, too, is having Joe on. Joe is in Ohio, so that's
different perspective, I would say.
I guess the one thing I want to start with is just going to Joe. What is the overall tone, tenor, how cocky are Ohioans or whatever it is?
I would think it's a little different there than it is here. At this
I would imagine Cavs in 3, right? Basically,
Cavs in 3, clean sweep, no real challenge. Celtics look tired, and they can't double team LeBron. And listen, out here, it's just a matter of how soon can they get to the Warriors. That's all that people can think about.
Now, I would say here I don't even know if the ultimate optimist was able to find a reason to pick the Celtics in the series, but I do think coming out of that Game 1, it was a little underwhelming. I think the gap's huge between the Cavs and anybody in the Eastern Conference. I thought it was a little smaller than what we saw in Game 1. I thought that was just, I don't know, Celtics looked flat. I don't know if they were just it was an energy issue coming off that 7-game series versus the Wizards, but not a lot there. Not a lot to sink your teeth into for Celtics fans.
Yeah,
guys, you're not on that whole train where you thought it was close at the end just because they scored some points on the scrubs, right?
No, that's
complete garbage.
Yeah, that game was. The Celtics are lucky they didn't lose that game by 40. And I think if LeBron was given the chance, and if they'd kept the starters and just kept the foot on the throttle, 40 is probably being nice to the Celtics, just with the way that it's just so unfair. I mean, I guess that's one way to put it. It's just LeBron is going to do whatever he wants. He's going to do it at will. Really, the Celtics' only chance is to pull a Celtic pride too and kidnap LeBron and keep him hostage for the next.
How about they take a shot at his knee or his shoulder?
I'm not totally against that. Like it's not very gentlemanly. It's not very sportsmanlike. But I honestly think if you want to get to the NBA Finals, your best chance is to maybe.
I'm not so sure that even if that's the case. I don't know if the Celtics win the series even without LeBron.
Well, why not get rough? You remember? I mean, Jordan. They were just drilling Jordan in the lane back in the day. Yeah. Why not just take some shots?
Well, do they have anybody who can even inflict harm on LeBron? Yeah. LeBron is just such a. At least with Jordan, the frame was a little bit smaller. LeBron, it feels like even if they tried, I mean, there's that picture from Game 1 where, Isaiah Thomas trying to foul him, and basically looks like he's just hugging the guy at the waist. It looks like a 4-year-old giving his dad a hug.
There's a chance you're going to hurt yourself if you start taking shots at LeBron. One way or another.
Is it time, guys, to find an enforcer in the NBA and just, go straight up Marty McSorley on somebody?
Yeah, I mean, maybe let's see what Charles Oakley's up to. I think that would be a suitable idea. I think.
Looking at the video of Shaq bullying people around at the local gym, he seems like I think he said on Instagram, 3 years and $100 million to get the job done to get him out of retirement. So he's a pretty big dude.
Yeah.
You can have him, just get in there and shove people to the ground for a living.
Yeah, as long as he's got 6 fouls, that's all you're looking for. Joe, I'm trying to think of a way to put this. The NBA playoffs, they're a joke, right?
It's a joke.
No other way.
You guys know it's a joke. I mean, listen, I was going to ask you guys, you're Boston guys. Is this a win for Boston just to get to the Eastern Conference Finals?
I mean, yeah.
I think a win, so. Right?
And that's what sucks about this whole situation is we were talking about this on a podcast we had the other day that it doesn't look good on the league when you have what should amount to be your 4 best teams in the NBA, your final 4, and you can't even come up with a reason as to why one team can beat the other team. I mean, we were equating it to even the Patriots at their best moments, if they say the spread was 10, 14 points, whatever, you could at least make a case that the other team had a chance to win the game. When it comes to the Celtics and Cavs, I mean, I could throw things out there, but at the end of the day, do I really believe it? No.
I mean, all right, so you guys have kind of moved on from this series. It's a formality.
No, not. I mean, yeah, it's weird because I told myself that they had no chance. We sat here. We literally just sat here, tried to figure out a way how the Celtics can make this a series, how they can make this competitive, and you really just you couldn't find it. But like there was something demoralizing about having those opinions like validated.
Yeah.
Like I think you kind of say that hoping that you're wrong, at least to get a series, and to see it play out exactly how you expected it. It does. There weren't a whole lot of reasons to be optimistic, to have a lot of hope, and it's just, I mean, yeah, the Cavs are better, and then you just look at the matchup itself. It's just what are the Celtics supposed to do? They really don't have. I mean, maybe Jaylen Brown is the guy who could sled on LeBron, but like, what did Kyrie Irving do in Game 1? Like he didn't. It wasn't really. There's just so many weapons. It's a bummer. It is. It's like like Ricky said.
Yeah, that was kind of the troubling feeling that I had throughout the Celtics-Wizards series. I mean, there was some crappy moments in that series, but all in all, it's 7 games. It's pretty entertaining. 2 teams that hate each other. But then in the back of your mind is this fact that, like, all right, essentially these teams are playing each other to see who's going to get the crap kicked out of them by the Cavaliers in the next round, which is crazy to say when you're in the Eastern Conference Finals, too, that it's not going to be a series. But
and the problem I have, listen, the problem I have with the NBA is how all season, all I'm told is how great the NBA is, how competitive it is. It's not competitive at all. I called for the NBA to eliminate the playoffs, put the Cavs and Warriors in a 27-game series, let them play for like 2.5 months, give us – listen, Golden State goes out to like a 13-1 lead. I want to see the rest of that series. I want to see if LeBron can bring them back from 12 down, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, this is ridiculous. Sweeps all over. The Spurs are going to get swept. You can see that one coming a mile away. They might maybe get one like sympathy game.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on. This is the NBA. There's no competitive balance. The teams that are the East is an absolute joke. The Celtics are in by default. The Wizards were weak. Let's be honest here. And it still went 7 with the Celtics. So I mean, I don't know. It's driving me nuts. I can't watch it. And I had this whole rule where I don't watch the NBA until Memorial Day weekend. That's like Game 6 or whatever of the conference finals. So I mean, it's become a 6-week season.
Well, that's the weird thing too, is you mentioned how if you make this extra long series with the Cavs and the Warriors, but like the NBA Finals itself could be awesome. It could be very intriguing.
Right.
It's gonna be amazing. That's what people are like. Oh, so you're not going to watch the finals. I'm like, hell no, I'm watching the finals. That's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on this big rematch. Everybody's healthy.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is then it's going to do bonkers ratings. Like, everybody's going to be talking about it. It's going to dominate social media. It's going to be trending. It's going to be the #1 story in sports for 2 weeks, assuming it's a decently long series. And then at the end of the day, the NBA says, well, what do you want? There's nothing wrong. We just gave you another classic series for the 3rd straight season. So I don't think it's – like there's no fix. Even if you – like I don't even know – would you say it's broken? It's either way, it's not going to – nothing's really going to change moving forward. So
yeah,
at least give me some more super teams. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah. Well, that's the crazy thing about seeing the Celtics rebuild up close is like – the conversation becomes, what do they do with that now that they have the #1 pick? And it's like, well, unless you can somehow get LeBron, or Kawhi Leonard, that type of player, you're not building a super team. Like, you need the super players to build a super team, and it seems like all the super players are on either the Cavs or the Warriors right now. So
is Paul George enough of a super? Can he build a super team? Can you build a super team around Paul George?
Hell no. Like, what is... then maybe that's the thing. If the Celtics had Paul George right now, maybe it's a 5 or 6 game series as opposed to a 4-game series or 5-game series.
That's the thing. I think they're just I think the window for the Celtics might be, 3 years from now, once they start drafting these guys and they're all developed. Because and you wait till LeBron gets a little older, maybe like
LeBron's knees got to go.
Yeah, he starts to wear down a little bit. Because right now, I mean, it's just.
But isn't that the thing that's crazy? Is everybody's like, LeBron, he's looking a little tired, he's worn out, he's done. He, maybe a couple more years. I mean, look at the guy. He's a machine. Nobody can stop him.
He played us all. So yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like they slow played it like brilliantly. Where LeBron came out, led the league in minutes for like the first half of the season, then they took their foot off the gas. They almost like lulled people into like a sense of security where it's like we were there were legitimate conversations about, are the Cavs in trouble down the stretch, which seems incredibly laughable at this point.
Well, it kind of validates the whole resting you guys down the stretch thing. Is this is why you do it. Yep. You know what I mean? This is it.
Thing is, though, is if you sweep these first rounds, right?
Yeah.
LeBron was sitting on 8 days rest before the conference finals. 8 days.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, if you're not rested after 8 days, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, I mean, why play the regular season? Like I saw the tweet where it was, why play the regular season when you can get home court advantage in 48 minutes? And it makes sense.
Right.
I mean, the Celtics have home court. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So it's very frustrating, guys. Very frustrating. But it's Friday. Let's enjoy this day. The weekend before Memorial Day weekend. What is going on in Boston? I got to know.
It's hotter than hell up here. So
I'm loving that.
It is. It's summertime already. Other than that, not a whole lot. It's just the Celtics has been taking kind of the wind out of the sails. I think people maybe hope that there's a chance to get a win Friday night, and maybe that gives a little bit of hope. But other than that, it's just getting outside for the first time in 6 months.
It's about to really become baseball season very quickly once this Eastern Conference Finals wraps up. That's
have people moved? They haven't moved on yet.
No, I don't think so. They will if they get their asses kicked tonight. Like this is the season. If for some reason
because it goes back to Cleveland, and then it's going to be over.
Right. I mean, like I said, the Cavs could have won by 40 points in Game 1 in front of a jacked up TD Garden crowd, and can't even imagine what it's going to be like at Quicken Loans Arena. So, kind of just basically everybody's hoping that the Red Sox figure it out, because other than that, it's going to be if they don't, it's going to be a long summer.
Yeah. Ready to get to the beach too.
Yeah.
Keep bringing the heat.
What is it? I saw it was like 95 there yesterday,
guys. We pushed 100 yesterday. It was
unbelievable.
I know.
Unbelievable. I don't know how you guys are dealing with it. It was like 90 here, and it's in Ohio. That's like a heat wave. So
yeah, it beats the hell out of us.
Get some beer, guys. Get some beers. Where are you guys headed? You going to the game? Anybody going to the game that's there? I can't even see you guys. Who's going to the game?
No. But the beers sound great.
The beer is something that we should probably do.
Oh God, you guys got to. Can you see these Busch Lights that I'm drinking?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you got going on?
Busch Lights.
That's a sharp looking can.
Oh my God, the Kevin Harvick No. 4 Busch Light can. I don't know what it is, but when the beer can looks good, the beer tastes better than it normally does. I don't know what it is.
That looks
but these are tasting good
just
today.
By looking at it, looks frosty. And it makes me parched.
We're gonna go get some beers. Joe, before we do, what's new over at Busted? What should we be looking for? I know you guys do an interview with Drew Brees. Is that what I saw?
Yeah, we talked to Drew Brees yesterday. He did the whole media tour. Were you guys in on that?
No, we didn't have Drew. No.
You guys did not have Drew Brees. Busted Coverage did. Amazing. That is a huge get for us.
Yep.
Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, such losers. We gotta bring him in.
You guys need to talk to the superiors around there. Get Drew Brees on the podcast, all that good stuff. You know what? Drew was really tired when we talked to him yesterday. He had done 21 straight interviews, or we were number 21 on the media tour. He did Dan Patrick, where he was talking about he would hide a concussion from his wife.
Right.
So by then we were like, man, listen, the guy just wants to survive the day. Let's go a little bit soft. Let's throw in some softballs. Here's a really interesting thing. Drew Brees throwing left-handed. How far do you think he could throw left-handed?
50 yards.
I was going to say 40 yards.
30 yards.
Oh,
30 yards is what Drew said he could throw. And I was like, that's impossible. He's such an athlete. He's got to be able to throw it further than 30 yards, right?
Yeah.
You would imagine. Yeah.
You would think. So, maybe the concussion thing, I don't know. He's worn out. But anyway, another thing the Boston people are going to love, and I don't know if this is, I didn't Google this or anything, but Drew told us that he recently bought Ted Williams' flight logs from when Ted was in World War II. I don't know if you guys knew that.
That sounds pricey.
Didn't. What the hell are you going to do with that?
I was amazed. He's such a Ted Williams fan, Drew Brees, that he bought all of Ted's flight logs. I don't know how in the world you go about finding them. But we asked what's the coolest piece of memorabilia that he owns, and it was instant. He was like, Ted Williams, that's my guy. I went out and I bought his flight logs. So very cool, very interesting stuff to hear all the things that he had from those logs. It's crazy. So it was a productive interview. You know what? It's kind of a slow period. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but there aren't that many storylines. I don't want to talk LeVar Ball. You guys, people are worn out by LeVar Ball, right? You guys are, right?
Yeah.
So it's a disaster there. Cavs sweeping, Warriors sweeping. Brady talking, or Giselle. That's another one. Talking about the concussions, I was blown away that she let that out, and that's going to dominate all summer, I assume. Yep. So that's exciting that there's going to be some Tom Brady news. We love that here. I live like 50 miles from Ann Arbor, so people around here, anything Tom Brady, doesn't matter what it is, they go absolutely crazy. And they act like they were Tom Brady fans when he walked onto Michigan campus, which is the biggest lie ever, but they love to tell it. So anyway, we're cruising along. So LeBron's going to be huge. It's going to be big. Can he go back to back with Cleveland? These people are ready for it, and I got to get out to one of the games. I'm thinking about blowing some budget. Some of the busted coverage budget. We're going to blow out the budget and go to a game. So should be exciting, guys.
And just when you think you hit a lull, I'm sure something will break in the coming days. It's always
somebody will get arrested. Somebody, somebody will do something stupid. It'll be great.
All right. Well, Joe, we appreciate you coming on. Me and Mike got some beers to drink and some flight logs
Get some beers, guys. Get some beers. Come on.
Busch Lights.
Yeah, I'm thirsty, so we're going to get the hell out of here.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate you coming on. That's Joe Kinsey from Busted Coverage. I'm Ricky Doyle. He's Mike Cole. Just a whole collection of sports here. We said it was a lull, but things will surely pick up. So thanks for tuning in.